What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? Today's video is gonna be good. We got a new patch. It affected pretty much every single role in a lot of ways you wouldn't necessarily think, because you'd see like one item change and then it hits everything. We got gods flying in and out of the being played in the meta, top 5. Every role is being hit. I know the last time I did top 5s, I got them all done real quick, except for mages. I slacked off. So we're gonna do jungle right now. Next video will be mages to open up. Mages are the most confusing, so that one will be a little bit more in depth. So be looking for that in the next few days. But I want to get these junglers done because the junglers have shifted. Starter items have shifted a little bit. There's been some buffs. There's going to be a spicy number 5 in this list. We're going to open with the number 5, so it'll be spicy right off the rip. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys are prepared. Smite source has all the builds updated. They all should be good to go. If you're wondering why they're similar or why some builds are the same in a lot of classes, a lot of roles, because they do the same things. They use the same builds. That's how it ends up working when the gods do the same thing. Today's video, before we get into it, sponsored, brought to you by Manscaped. We worked with them this month, last month, the month before that, the year before that. We've been working with them for a long time. You know I like their products. Code WEEKEN20 will get you 20% off whatever you buy on their website. I know if you do buy the things, there's a little gift you get some boxers, your little carrying case. I'll show you that in a second. So we got the new lawnmower 3.0, killing the game. I literally use these all the time. I actually use these all the time. I had to go get them out of the bathroom. Hopefully there's no hairs or anything on them. We got the weed whack, the new weed whacker, which is the nose and ear hair trimmer. I know you guys have nose and ear hair. That should be flying out. Just handle it. Get that shit. We got the reviver, a little spritz whenever you need it. You already know. And like I said, I'm not gonna show you the boxers. Those are away. Those are not for you guys. But those are a little gift you get when you do purchase their pack. And then the little carrying case, which I was using all the time when I was traveling. Obviously been traveling a little bit less, but when I was traveling in Georgia, I actually had that with me all the time because that's how I carried all my stuff. Remember Weekend20 on manscaped.com. Go get yourself some stuff. Drop it in the comments. You've been using it, or if you have gotten the new stuff. I want to know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and that's our sponsor. Shout out Manscaped. You guys are the GOAT. Like, you guys are fucking awesome. I love you guys. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this top 5 jungle video. Number 5, right off the rip, dude. Off the rippity dip. You guys are probably looking at it like, what the fuck is this god doing on here? It's Mulan, man. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit and be like, I knew this was coming. I knew there was buffs going through. And obviously it's a lot of things that we've been harping on for a while. The changes, if you did not know, the 2 now slows for 3 seconds. The 3 now decreases in cooldown. It goes down to like 12 seconds, I believe. That's without CDR at max rank. And then your ultimate can now be canceled. So that means, if you don't know how Mulan ultimate works, you ult forward, dashing through people. If you hit a god, it then triggers the next 2 parts of the ability. If you don't hit a god, you just dash through and you're done. Dash through, you do damage. You then, next fire of the ability, next trigger, it goes off on its own. You can't move. You're stuck in place. Next move on the ability is a knock up. You knock up, and then the third part of the ability is you shoot a line ability that does damage. That's a long time for you to be standing there waiting for these abilities to go off. Now you can cancel that ultimate. So you can dash through and root and cancel it. Go right on your target. You could dash through, root, knock up, while right when you knock up, cancel it, run over and start beating their ass. That's the core thing. That combo you can now do is ridiculous. You can now dash through, knock up, cancel, and 3 them out of the air. So you can get right to them. You have a lot of combo ability with this god. Now, on top of the way Bumba's Hammers works, if you don't know, Bumba's Hammer is very good. I'm sure you've been crying about it. Late game is a lot better for a lot of gods because Bumba's Hammer's strength. It is kind of garbage for the first 20 minutes of the game. Then after that, it's fucking broken. Well, Mulan is kind of sick for the first 14 to 15, 16 minutes of the game. And then she kind of falls off really hard in the late game. Well, Bumba's Hammer stops that fall off from being so drastic. You also have these items like Shifter Shield being buffed. You have Crusher still being good. You have Soul Eater being a viable thing because people don't like to build anti-heal. You have big damage from Heartseeker. You have the ability to grab more pen. You have the ability to go tankier if you need to. You do not have to build the Soul Eater. The Soul Eater could be another item, whatever you want it to be. It could be a Hydras if you're just looking to do tons of damage, glass cannon status. It could be a tanky item if you're trying to survive, like a Spirit Robe or something like that. You've got a lot of options with this god because it's a warrior that does as much damage as most assassins do with their abilities. Her 2, when it levels up, when it peaks, when it forgot what it's called. Just when it evolves. There you go. When it evolves, it does it. The amount of damage it does at that point in the game is insane. It's like a 600 damage ability when you're building damage. Mulan's killing it. Played her the other day right after the patch, and it feels really, really smooth compared to where we were at before. So this is going to be a god you want to start playing or get back to playing. I know a lot of people used to grind the fuck out of her because she was fun for a long time. She's fun again. She's very, very good. So that is number 5 on our top 5 junglers list. Number 4, a lot of these won't be too surprising, is Ravna. You will see the builds have changed slightly because Shifter Shield is pretty core. It's 70 power or 65 protections on top of the power. So it's either 70 power and 25 protections or 35 power and 65 protections. It is a ridiculously strong first and second item after boots. It doesn't make you unkillable, but it makes you feel so tanky that no one really wants to target you with physical damage at that point in the game. You will definitely outtrade hunters early. You will outtrade other assassins that don't build it early. Super strong. Ravna is just a very clean, easy. The god can be played fast or slow, has a lot of potential in baiting abilities, in avoiding abilities with the 2 in the ultimate. Easy dive, just a super strong, been consistent in like our top 5 for a very, very long time. Something that should be in your arsenal of top 5 jungle picks, top 5 gods for you to be played. Just really, if you're jungling, this is a god you should be able to play. We don't need to go into why. I think you guys understand why. Build smitesource.com. I didn't go over some of the build. So when you see these builds, please, this is something I don't mention on the website. I probably should. I mean, I say sell Jotun's late down here. You might not know what that means. Once you are full fucking build, you haven't sold boots yet, you're just full build. You've upgraded your Bumbus hammer. You have all these items right here. Before you sell boots at this point, once you get to this point, Jotun's is not worth it. It's good, but that cooldown is worthless, and this item can be replaced. I like to replace it with Dominance or Titan's Bane at that point, and then you will sell boots for whichever one you don't buy, Dominance or Titan's Bane. If you're dying a lot, one of those 2 items becomes Mantle of Discord, so you get a little bit tankier. You are still overcapping CDR when you have a red pot with Mantle of Discord. You don't have Mantle of Discord, and you go Dominance, you go Titan's Bane, you need that red pot to cap the CDR, which is perfectly fine. That's how it's always been for the longest time. But you do want to get rid of that Jotun's late because you are sitting at 50% CDR with this build. It's unnecessary. This is just because it's 20 minutes in the game when you finish Bumbus, sometimes 22, 23, 24. So you need that CDR as early as possible to make up for the late game Bumbus hammer that you're really relying on. So that is the build, and that is why you need to understand selling Jotun's late is super valuable for you in this build. Number 3, the only auto attack god that I think is still super viable is Nemesis. This build, I'm messing with things, I'm playing with things. I actually didn't update one thing. I just realized that's my bad. Silver Branch is not going to be something I am building anymore. The build is, you're not going full blown auto attack. We've seen a nerf to Protector of the Jungle a little bit. It's not updated on the website in terms of stats, but it's lost some attack speed, it's lost some power. Still very good, still necessary for auto attack builds and auto attack gods, but it's been hit. You're still going stone cutting, you're still getting ninja tabby for attack speed. The Berserker Shield is where I am teetering. I think I would rather have a Shifter Shield here and go for a more power based build. If I do want defense in this the stat, if I want a hybrid item, I will not be building Berserker Shield anymore. If I do not want defense, I will go oboe right here and up my clear and my damage and my ability to fight 2 and 3 targets at the same time a little bit better and do a little bit more damage. It will be really strong at this point in the game. You'll have a lot of attack speed. You'll get that passive stacked up, and you'll just shred through your targets that you have ulted. Then Xy's pretty standard, Kin's pretty standard. These 2 items are really strong right now in the meta. Haven't really been touched other than buffs at some point or the other for Xy. I said no Silver Branch in this build anymore. I would more than likely want CDR in this slot because this build has none in it. Absolutely 0. So I would probably sell Ninja Tabby for Erendite. This is going to allow me to stick to my target late game that I ultimate, that person that you 100% want to kill. So you're all in. You want that target, that person dies for you to win the fight and win the game. So I'd probably I'm going to change this to Erendite. I would sell Ninja Tabby for Erendite. If I need to survive, I would sell boots for Mantle of Discord. Still giving you CDR. That CDR is going to be nice. You have none in the build. Getting a little bit becomes very valuable at that point in the game. Everything else is the same for Nemesis, other than she's just not doing as much damage. She's still doing a shit ton, so don't really count her out. That's why she's number 3. She's still very, very strong and shreds through almost all the gods being played in the meta right now. I think Sobek might be one of the only really, really annoying gods for you to deal with. You're seeing a lot more Cthulhu's picked up too, because warriors have got nerfed a few times. Nemesis helps shred Cthulhu. Dumpster Cthulhu. A Nemo and a, say your support has a Thunder, that Cthulhu is melted. GG. That is our number 3 on the list. Number 2 is gonna be Misukiyomi. First of all, I got a new skin in the game. Let's not even front. The new skin is sick, and that's gonna make you want to play him anyway. On top of the fact that he's doing better. Similar situation in the build, though. Get late game once you finish Bumba's Hammer. Sell the Jotun's Wrath. Get Titan's Bane. Get Dominance. Get a Magi's Cloak if you need to. The Magi's Cloak is gonna make it so your 2 doesn't get interrupted, and that damage goes off. These are going to be the items, plus a Titan's Bane will be the, really, it'll be Titan's Bane Dominance, this one, that I would sell these 2 items for. I would sell Jotun's Wrath and Boots for. Why is Misukiyomi doing so well? You can spam the fuck out of your 1. You have a full CDR build where you get 1 second off every time you auto, which your 1 counts as an auto when you throw that ranged auto out. So you always have your 1 up. It's just spammable. On top of that, you can really just shred through targets with your ultimate in the late game while not being targeted for that period of time. So in any big engagement, any fight that breaks out, you ult 2, 3, 4 people, 1 or 2 of them is going to die and they can't do anything to you about it, which is, it's kind of like that Yorm-esque idea where Yorm's out of the fight, can't be targeted, but does a shit ton of damage. Misukiyomi's is just better damage and you are put into the fight. So assuming you do it all correctly, which you should be, because you should be killing somebody, when you land, you're going to want to keep fighting. So dropping out of that ultimate right there in their face, you can do a lot of damage. Spam that 1. Fairly safe because you can poke before deciding to go in between your 1, your 3, and your 2, especially with the no cooldown once Bumba's Hammer is finished. He's just doing very well. Aside from his ability to team fight, his pressure he creates everywhere on the map is insane. Between your 1 and your 3, you can half health people and poke them from pretty much the whole game. From like level 4 on, you're going to be able to poke the fuck out of somebody before they'll be able to poke you. On top of the fact that you have free clear in the mid wave or whatever wave you run into, you just want it. You're helping clear the full wave safely, which is something most assassins lack on. And that just creates a map pressure and a map control that no other assassins necessarily create just by existing. That's why Misukiyomi has bumped up on top of the other gods being nerfed. He's just excelling. Like we're seeing Eye of the Jungle get nerfed, so auto attack gods are getting nerfed. You're seeing Crit get nerfed. Misukiyomi's over here like, all right, good. You're just making me better and better and better and better and better. And here he is, absolutely stomping, doing very, very well in this meta and on this map. Number 1, you see nerfs like over and over and over again, but they're minor micro nerfs, and he still seems to be the best. He works with any builds. I have a damage build up here. You can go a hybrid build. You can go a fucking tanky build. I played a comp. I was playing Sett against 4 physical gods. I went first item Witchblade into a shifter shield into another defensive item. I was top damage, most kills, and was unkillable. Like it's ridiculous what this god can do because he is so spammy. He's even more spammy because of the late game Bumbas. I know they made it so I think, what was it, his 3 no longer procs the mini sets, the 2. It doesn't matter. He's still gonna get a fuck ton of his 2s up. He's still gonna do a shit ton of damage. You still have the Hydra's procs. I think they made it so the Hydra's proc also doesn't proc when you spam your 2. And this stuff he's still super strong and super viable. He's very hard to kill because he's slow immune in his 3 and he has physical reduction in his 3. He's healing and you don't need to build healing items, so people need to build anti-heal against you if they want to deal with you. You just have a ton of damage and you're very, very safe. You usually I have blink in here for lower games, but in higher games I always go beads Aegis so I can survive. And my goal is just to live. Use that 3, especially with Bumbas. Your 3 will be up over and over again. Use that 3 to move around safely and be smart about it. With Sett, you're really just looking to engage on the back line the second their big damage ability goes off, so you can just sit on top of them and kill them. The god is ridiculously frustrating to play against. Remember to sell the Jotun's late game for Titan's Bane, Mantle, Magi's, whatever you need to survive. Sell boots for the other one, Dominance or Magi's or Mantle, whatever it is you want, one of those 4 items. And just remember, as long as you're going into a team fight that your team is engaging on, you're going to kill somebody. if you are using your build and your abilities properly. The biggest kind of thing I would recommend to you is, remember, once you ult, you can have infinite numbers of your little clay sets out there, your little twos. So just because you get 2 of them down doesn't mean you have to use your 1 right away. If you can stick to your target with auto attacks, just keep autoing them and 2ing, dropping 2s over and over and over. Once you feel like that person might try to run, or you can kill them, or it's just time, you feel like, all right, I'm about to do a lot of damage, then you use your 1 so you can land 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 sets on one target and insta kill them. If people collapse on you, you then get to hit multiple targets for free just by killing your main target. That kind of stuff doesn't happen with a lot of gods, and it is ridiculously valuable and really needs to be noticed by you when you are playing this god. Realize you are a massive threat for a multitude of reasons. Please. I did want to mention there are a couple of gods. These are our top 5. There's some honorable mentions I wanna throw in there, and they're actually guardians. Number 1 is Cabrakan. Cabrakan with Bumba's Hammer has infinite span on his abilities, and he's one-shotting late game right now with full damage build. Most people are not going to deal with Cabrakan properly, especially up into like platinum ranks. People are just gonna take it and not know what to do. So Cabrakan is a guardian jungle you should definitely prioritize. I would put Cabrakan at like a 6, 7, 8 on top junglers list. And then with Athena's buff to the taunt, she feels crazy strong. That extra damage is so minor. It's like 180 at max or some shit. And I think it's bugged on its scaling right now, but it still slaps. It fucking hits hard as shit. And if you need a supportive, or you just need some magic damage, a lot of the mages other than Ao Kuang aren't doing really great in the jungle. So guardians are going to be your go-to. It's going to be Cabrakan and Athena. I have video up on YouTube of those gods being played. I have recent Athena with the new buffs. I played her a couple times. I just go full damage with the poly, and you do a lot of damage with Bumba's Hammer. Cabrakan's the same thing. You're getting full damage with the poly with the Bumba's Hammer. So you can pretty much 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 over and over again. It's kind of crazy. There's our top 5 junglers. Remember, Manscaped code is weekend20, weekend20 for 20% off. Link will be down below in the description. And have fun. Let me know what you guys think of these top junglers. Let me know if there's some gods you think you've been playing a lot more, just doing better, especially with the patch. Ask any questions you have in the comments below, please, and make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's still a shit ton of you. I mean, there's tons of you that click on the video and don't even think about liking it. It takes 2 seconds to just click the like. It doesn't hurt anybody. So make sure any video you see up, just hit the like button if it's something you watched, and then subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Another thing that doesn't do or cost you anything. It's really, really helpful to me on the channel. So I appreciate it. Have a good day, boys and girls. I'll see you in the video later tonight, later tomorrow, and the next day.